Hi, I'm Tammy. Welcome to Yoga with Tammy. Today I thought we would do a little bit of a gentle and quite short but sweet hip opener. I know that lots of us are sitting now on the computer and we're waking up and we're sitting and then maybe not stretching so much during the day, and our hips can get really stiff when we do that. So I just wanted to introduce a little sequence that you might want to do first thing in the morning. You can also do it as a break at your lunchtime or during the day, also before bed. Just a really nice way to stretch out this whole hip and pelvic girdle area. So we're going to get started lying down as though we're just waking up first thing in the morning. Let's get started. So just gently ease yourself down into a flat back with your legs spread out, your arms spread out beside you and palms facing up. And then just take a couple of deep breaths to get started for today. Let's get our minds out of whatever we were thinking about before, and just let's bring ourselves into our body, into this field of awareness around us, and take a couple of deep breaths. Feeling the belly rise and fall. And then on an inhale, just bring your arms gently overhead and give yourself a nice big stretch, stretching your legs away from your torso and your arms away from your shoulders and neck. And just like what you would do when you first get up in the morning, just stretch everything out and feel the expansion within your body. Take a deep breath and feel all that space fill up inside of you. And then on an exhale, bring your arms back down and bring your feet up flat against the floor, about hip width apart. And then bring your hand, you can lift up your knees and bring your hands onto the top of your knees. And feel how nice it is to have your lower back flat against the floor. And then slowly and gently, let's do some circles with the knees. So first we'll go in one way. You can start with clockwise. And anywhere you might feel something catch, just stay there. Just feel it out and play around. You don't need to make a full circle. Just make sure that you're giving your body what it needs today. Gentle circles, and be aware of the breath as well. You might want to inhale as the knees come closer and exhale as they go further away. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. Loosening up the lower back and the pelvis area. Okay, great. And now let's stretch the legs back out again. And you can keep your arms at your sides with your palms facing up, or if you'd like, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, whatever is more comfortable for you. And now we're going to bring our feet together and then raise your right foot so that it's just about at the level of the knee, or a little higher if you can. It's up to you. And making sure that you feel both sides of your lower back of your sits bones flat against the ground. We don't want to be tilting over to one side or the other, but be straight. And then inhale. And on an exhale, slowly and gently bring the knee to the right towards the ground. Now we're starting to open up the hip, the inner hip here. And if you find that it's really uncomfortable and painful, you can always grab a cushion or any pillow, something you might have next to you, and place it under the knee. If you find that your knee can't reach the ground or if it hurts, this is a great way to keep opening the hip without putting any pressure or on yourself or giving yourself unnecessary pain, which we never want. And from here, let's take a couple of deep breaths, being aware of this area of the inner hip. And you'll find that on the out breath, If you focus on this area, you can actually feel it slowly and gently expand and make space, and maybe be able to drop a little bit further. So taking a couple of breaths now. Great. On an inhale, you can bring up the foot, the knee, and then bring the leg back down. And we'll switch sides. So first, switch the position of your hands in the opposite direction if they're on your torso. And then bring up your left foot up to the level of the knee or a little bit higher. If you know you might need your cushion, you can always place it there where your knee will drop. And of course, you can use more than one cushion if you need anything that works for your body. And then on an inhale, raise, and then on an exhale, we'll slowly drop the knee down to the side. Not pushing farther than your body feels capable of. Just work with what's comfortable. And take some deep breaths, being very mindful of this area stretching on the inner hip. An area we don't always stretch so often and naturally in our daily lives. So there's a lot of tension in this area. So just be kind with yourself. Okay, so on an inhale, raise the knee and then lower the leg down and just shake it all out. You can move the pillow, probably won't need it again, and then just shake and feel already how much more open you feel compared to when we started. Okay, now raise the feet and just bring your hands, if you can, under above the knee on the back side, and just to stretch out the lower back. Just hug your knees to your chest maybe, or make some circles again, anything to make yourself comfortable here. And when you're ready, we'll hug the knees or touch the knees again with your hands on the upper part of the knee. And then we'll do a couple of quick little rolls to come up to seated position. So just playing here on the back, and then we'll come to seated. And we can just sit in an easy, comfortable cross-leg position, or if you want, you can have one foot in front of the other, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, and from here, let's just do a couple of stretches for the shoulders and the side body. So we'll bring the arms out, palms facing up, and then we'll inhale, bring the arms up, if you can, to touch above the head, only if you can. And exhale down. And in your own time, we'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Feeling the whole side body stretch. This time we'll start the same way. So we'll inhale up, but then we'll exhale down into a twist. So bringing one arm to the knee, to the opposite knee, the other hand behind you, and inhaling, stretching the whole spine as though you can feel someone pulling at the top of your head. And exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. And then inhale, bring the arms up again to touch if you can. And we'll twist in the other direction. Twists are so healthy for rejuvenating the body, keeping the spine all flexible. And it really also twists and works with the organs inside your body. A really nice detox and cleanse. Okay, now we'll inhale up and exhale down. Great. Okay, now to continue with our hip openers, we're of course already stretching out the hips, and you'll probably feel a little bit looser because of what we've already done on the floor. Now let's try to go a little bit deeper and bring both of the soles of our feet to touch. Now, if you have a couple of cushions and you feel you need them, you can always place the cushions under your knees as high as you need to. The main point here is to keep your spine straight. So we don't want to hunch over, but we want to have a straight spine. And if that means that your knees are here, that's no problem at all. Over time, your hips will open up and your knees will be able to drop. So you can put a couple of cushions, or if you're okay without them, just drop even if your knees aren't falling down, as long as you're not in pain. We don't want to go past our edge. And then we want to keep our hands touching either the sides of the feet or at the top, whatever you can do. Again, picturing someone pulling an invisible string above your head, keeping your spine straight. This is what will allow us to open our hips, but with integrity, without doing any compromising of our spine. And then from here, let's take a deep breath. And then start lifting our knees up and down like a butterfly's wings, just flapping up and down. You can go a little bit slower if you'd like to kind of get a better sense and feeling of what's happening in your inner hips, or if you want to generate a little more heat, then go a little bit quicker. We'll just do this for a few more seconds. And as we end, you might want to go a little bit faster. And then drop the knees. Great. And we'll come back into a nice cross-legged position. Okay, and of course, if you want to do, you can also, if you have the ability, you can bring one foot in front of the other, or even go in half lotus by bringing the foot on top of the opposite thigh, whichever is most comfortable for you. Now, what we're going to do from this position is going to go forward, and the most important thing again is the straight spine. So we're not trying to get ourselves to the finish line by hunching our back. It's much more effective and helpful for your body if we don't even go that much forward at all, as long as our spine is straight. So what we'll do is take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, bring one hand in front, and then another as though we're taking steps. And they can be really tiny steps, or they can go a little bit deeper if you'd like. So one, and then inhale, and then two, and then inhale, another step, and just keep going like this until you can't go any further. And then when you've reached your edge here, let's take a couple of deep breaths exactly where you are. And on the exhale, notice if you might be able to go just a little bit deeper. You might be able to get your elbows on the ground. Just working with the breath. It's a very intense stretch for the inner and outer hips, so be gentle with yourself. One more deep breath. And on the exhale, we'll slowly come back. And now this is always the fun part. We're going to switch sides. We always tend to start with the side that's more comfortable and natural for us. So the other side might feel a little strange. So just switch the cross, whether you have whichever foot position is most comfortable for you. And we'll do the exact same thing. So we'll take a deep breath in, maintaining the straight spine. And on the exhale, we'll take these steps, either really small steps with the hands, palms on the ground, or a little bit deeper if you can. But each time we're inhaling first to lengthen the spine, and then exhale to go deeper with the next step until you reach your edge. And when you're there, we can work with the breath, noticing if we might be able to go a little bit deeper on the exhale. Try to make sure also that with your head, you're not looking up or looking down too much, but keeping a straight line from the bottom of your spine all the way to the top of your head. This allows the breath and the energy to flow through your body, which will also help you to increase your flexibility. Keeping your shoulders relaxed, your neck, your jaw relaxed, and keeping your awareness on your inner and outer hips. Okay, and on an exhale, we'll come back up to seating. And now this is optional, so you can actually just do the exact same thing we did if that felt comfortable for you, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, we're going to try the same thing but with our feet together like they were in the butterfly position. So bringing your feet together and bringing in the cushions as necessary. We're going to have our hands on our feet, take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, and then on the exhale, we're going to bring our hands to the ground, taking these steps, making sure the lower back is straight and we're not hunching over, just as far as we can go. You can see that this is an intense stretch on the inner hips, so again, be kind to yourself, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, and just as far as you can go. Once you're there, it's all about taking these deep breaths to see and bring attention and energy throughout your body, allowing yourself to expand and stretch even deeper. One more deep breath. And on an exhale, coming back up. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And we can release, bringing our feet in front of us, about hip width apart, and bringing our hands casually behind you. And you can bring your feet even further apart and just bring in one knee after the other, just as a nice way to release the hips and the back. Good job. Okay, great. Now we're going to slowly wind down and bring ourselves to our backs again. So putting our hands behind our legs, very slowly using your core strength, lie flat, get each vertebra of the spine down on the ground. Your head comes last, keeping your feet planted on the ground, as close to your sits bones as possible. And your hands can be palm facing up or down. Taking a deep breath. Now bring your right foot over, crossing over the front of your left knee. And you can just play and see what feels comfortable with your hands to see how far your knee can press back before you feel any discomfort. And then just stay there. This is already a great stretch. And if you'd like, you can also bring your hands behind your leg again, or on top of the shins, if you can go deeper like that. And gently press your left knee towards your chest. We don't want to go any further than is comfortable. And then just, again, take the deep breaths and play with this stretch and see how it feels on your right hip. Here, as you can feel, we're targeting the outer hip area. And take a couple of deep breaths. Excellent. On an exhale, release. And you can again shake your legs out, bringing one knee towards the center, then the other. And then we'll do the other side exactly the same way. So the left foot and ankle over the right knee. And then lifting up your right leg and put your hands under your leg or over the shin and gently try to bring your right knee towards your chest. As you do this, it will deepen the stretch on the outer left hip. And follow the breath. If you find your knees is hurting, first you can try to flex your left foot to protect the knee, which really we should be doing the whole time, I should have mentioned, or just simply loosen the stretch or come out of it altogether. One last deep breath. And then release. Okay, keeping your feet planted on the ground. Take your hands around and hold the edges of your mat, so you're grasping the mat. And then on an inhale, raise your bum slowly up. And then exhale down. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Really nice stretch on the chest, and exhale down. And now we'll come into our last position, which is a variation of what we were doing sitting up. So bringing the soles of your feet together and allowing the knees to drop. You can take cushions underneath you for comfort, or if this is too much for now, this is going to be our last pose. So if you'd like, you can go straight into Shavasana or corpse pose, which is how we started, with our legs and arms flat out, or you can keep your feet together and drop your knees from side to side. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, and take a couple of deep breaths, noticing if your hips feel any looser, or if you feel anything at all different in your body. Just notice any sensations you might have anywhere after these really nice stretches we've done. And then with your eyes still closed, taking deep breaths, just say a quiet thank you to yourself for the practice that you've given yourself for today, for allowing yourself to sit and to move with much more ease throughout the day. And just thank yourself for taking, this time, because we don't often think of doing these small but really important things for ourselves to keep ourselves nourished and healthy throughout the day. So thank you so much for this practice. Lie there as long as you would like and just stay in the comfort of this moment. Thank you so much for being with me today, and namaste.